are live. Tell your friends you're listening to the Verhoeven Effect podcast. I'm Conlon.
And I'm Nathan.
We have another very special episode. We have the 2024 movie Love Lies Bleeding, the last movie in our Through the Year series.
Yeah, we made it.
Which I chose this movie because it has a really cool trailer.
Yeah.
And then it ends up on streaming. So, yeah, this is where we'll end it because we'd have to go to a movie theater to see a 2025 movie, and Flight Risk looks interesting, but probably won't be.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I don't even want to leave the house anymore, so the chances of me going to a movie theater are really thin.
yeah. I think the new Captain America comes out in February. I'll probably go see that because I really like
Yeah,
those.
that might be cool.
I mean, like I said, like those, like the Winter Soldier is basically like what if Tom Clancy, but the Marvel universe, and they basically have Jack Ryan as the president in the next one, so and he turns into the Red Hulk. It's like I'm in. Whatever the fuck this is.
Whatever it is, whatever's going on, it's cool. Yeah.
And I don't even know, it's probably based on something they've done and rebooted 10 times already, but I have no idea. Um so yeah, I believe none of us have the history with this movie other than I saw the trailer. I think I showed you the trailer when it came out last year. I think it came out in January last year. I think this it came out in March. So yeah, I think the trailer came out in January.
Yeah.
And so I had no idea what to expect. I didn't go see it, so I just waited until I saw it now. So we both. You didn't see it before this, right? This is the first time
No.
okay.
You heard you talking about it, but it was kind of like save it for the podcast. So it's like, okay.
All right. Director is Rose Glass, who I really don't know much for stuff. This is the first thing of hers I've seen.
Yeah.
But she has another movie called Saint Maud, which I heard is pretty good. But seems like an interesting up and coming director. So,
Oh yeah,
looking
definitely
for
based on this. Yeah.
cinematographer is Ben Fordsman, who basically works with her a lot and does a lot of kind of low budget stuff.
Yeah, the one guy out of the I don't know anything about his cinematography is a lot of BBC type stuff. It looks like.
Okay, yeah, they're both British, I think, or she's British. I'm not sure where he's from.
Yeah, he's from the UK too.
Okay, that makes sense then.
But the guy that stood out and I recognized his style immediately was the guy who did the soundtrack, Clint Mansell.
Oh, okay.
So he used to work a lot with Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah.
Like he did Pi, Requiem for the Dream, The Fountain, The Wrestler, Black Swan, a lot of stuff like that.
Huh, okay.
He immediately stands out, and I have the soundtracks for like Pi and The Fountain because it's actually so good. Like I'll listen to it on like a mix I have at work, and I was like, this sounds like familiar. And then of course I went and looked it up. It's like, oh, it's Clint Mansell. I know he did all those Aronofsky films and some other stuff. And
is he selective, or is he as prolific as every other composer out there?
I don't. I mean, he's in his 60s.
Okay.
So he was the singer for Pop Will Eat Itself, which was like an alt band from the early 90s.
Yeah.
And then he seems to have done a lot. Like he did Doom.
Yeah.
Wrestler. What has he done recently besides it? He did Ghost in the Shell.
Okay.
So what's one that I would recognize? Yeah, I don't recognize anything. He's been steadily working like 2018 to 2020 and 2021, but that's the weird COVID break everyone had.
Okay.
And and he does stuff for like television stuff. Uses
okay.
A lot.
All right, so he's getting to work.
Peacemaker, the for some of that, it's part of that. Yeah. He also did the Doom Patrol music. But yeah, I just knew immediately I recognized the music in this. Is like, where have I heard this? And I had to stop and like, oh, okay, yeah. I like this guy. I have a bunch of his music on my playlist.
Written by Rose Glass and Weronika Tolfiuska. She's Polish.
Yeah.
It
one of
starts
the
with a W, but I'm assuming it's you say it like a V, like in a lot of those countries.
German, like German W means V.
Yeah, I know in Germany. Maybe that's. I know there's contention between Germany and Poland, so maybe that's wrong. I don't
Is there?
know. Well, now
I
the
mean,
contention's moved to Russia, so who knows?
back to the old game. Yeah, that'd be cool to call her Veronica. Say, where's werewolf at? Actually, that's one of the most pronounceable Polish names I've seen in a while.
But she's also a director and a writer. Oh, she directed some TV episodes. She directed a His Dark Materials episode.
Okay,
She directed 4 episodes of Baby Reindeer, which I hear good and terrible things about. Like, I hear it's great, but like you never want to. You feel regret for watching it.
Yeah, it kind of turned into The Last of Us. It's like, this is so sad. I'm not doing this. It's a really weird story. It's based on a comic, but and a very dark comic at that. And yeah, it's sad. I mean, it's same kind of Last of Us sad stuff where it's like, I gotta punch out. I'm not getting sunlight or touching enough grass. If I keep watching this, I'm gonna go into a bad place.
I'm gonna label this officially good and never watch it again.
It's like, have you ever seen that? It's like, yeah, watch it. Cool. What'd you think about the end? Couldn't make it. Sorry. This trip.
The cast, I don't know. Again, this seems like a failing to intermediate database. I don't know why it's put this way, but it's Anna Baryshnikov, who plays a side character.
Yeah.
Christian Stewart and Dave Franco. So
it was Mikhail Baryshnikov's daughter, because that's a very specific name. It's like, that's that dancer that like defected to the U.S. and he was kind of famous in the 70s and 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the same guy? And it's like, yep, it's the same guy. It's Mikhail Baryshnikov's father or daughter. So.
Huh. Okay. I wasn't expecting that, but makes sense with the name. It's like very specific names.
Yeah. Well, the name stuff. It's like there's no way there's just that many people.
Yeah.
With that name, because it's he's Latvian, I think. So.
Huh. Okay.
He was from a Soviet satellite, but yeah, he was a very famous like dancer that defected to the United States, and he was in a movie too.
Yeah, I think there was a movie with like, it's like is that one black guy is always tap dancing.
Yeah, it was White Nights. Yeah, because it involved like dancing and politics, and it was in the 80s, and it was like, this is sort of cool. It was a very 80s movie. It's like, yep, they'll never make anything like this again.
Gregory Hines, yeah.
Gregory Hines, yes.
He's in a bunch of things, but he always like finds an excuse to tap dance in a lot of his movies.
I think that's his original calling.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you had any pre-production or expectations that you had before watching this movie, Nathan.
I did not know who any of the actors were in this except for Ed Harris.
Okay.
I did not know that Kristen Stewart was the lady from the vampire movies.
Oh yeah, the whatever.
Daylight or whatever. The
Twilight, yeah, Twilight.
Teenagers, yeah. So I never watched one of those, believe it or not. So I thought, wow, this is a great actress. Where did they find her? And then I click on the thing, and it's like, oh, okay, she was actually like, she was in $100 million movies for a long time, and then started doing like independent stuff.
Yeah. She's kind of like doing more interesting stuff nowadays. Like
she must have made her money up front and like, okay, I want to do cool stuff now.
Well, she did the Gene Seberg movie, which is on Amazon, which is pretty good if you don't know anything about her. She's a
lady who. What did Seberg do?
She's from Iowa, and she got famous being an actress in a French movie called Breathless, like the first French New Wave movie.
Okay.
And so she was kind of back and forth between America and.
Didn't she die in a weird way?
Or something? Suicide. So.
Okay.
Yeah, well, for like, especially for a lady like that pretty at that time, there's a certain way you're supposed to be, and she was dark.
With Black Panther.
Yeah, and she was also just dark as shit and would say things to people like out loud. It's like she'd be like, she's just fully admitting to like all her like insecurities and stuff like that, and maybe like, oh yeah, of course she killed herself. And she's like, I think she has some quote where it's like, somebody asked her, it's like, are you happy? And she's like, happiness isn't everything. It's like, that's a great quote.
Yeah, it's better than no, but it's like, yeah, this all kind of sucks, but
Especially like like the '60s like mainstream machine back then. So.
oh yeah, she was like a goth girl before it was cool.
Yeah, but like from Iowa, it's
She
crazy.
was legit about. Oh yeah, yeah.
uh,
You can take the Iowa out of the girl. It's not.
yeah, there's a lot of abuse problems in urban
Oh,
Iowa.
okay,
So,
yeah. That makes you dark.
yeah. Um, but yeah, Kristen Stewart's kind of been just like taking on interesting roles lately, and yeah, I guess making up for Twilight. Whatever, I don't know.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just it wasn't my thing.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It's
The only way I watched those movies was through riff tracks, which are amazing.
oh, I would like to see some. Maybe I should do that.
Um,
It was kind of like Harry Potter. Like my son was into that because it was for his age group.
yeah.
And he's like, Dad, you should read these. I was like, I've read Lord of the Rings, son. Well, read these next. I said, have you read Dune? Oh, you should read these. I was like, I'm sure those are fine. And now all we talk about is Lord of the Rings and Dune.
Yeah.
See, I told you.
But I remember I got to like the third one, which is directed by the guy who did 28 Days of Night, or was it? What's the vampire? Is that 28 Days of Night?
Yeah, the one I like.
The Josh Hartnett vampire movie.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Excellent movie.
And so that Twilight movie is like fairly like passable. It's like this is an okay movie.
Yeah.
Like everything in it is fucking ridiculous. It's because they eventually get to their werewolves versus vampires, but it's done in a way where it's like seemingly better done than the other ones.
It's not just purely like banal.
Yeah, it's like we're gonna have a fight scene, and it's not gonna be like they didn't just come up with it on the day. It seems like it was planned, maybe. So.
Yeah. It wasn't just a bunch of guys in a like a writing room. Like, what if the werewolves did a backflip? It's like no.
I'm pretty sure the werewolves do a backflip, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean they always do because why wouldn't?
Well, I think they had a lot of stuff where they like had them just turn into people so they could fist fight each other rather than having them turn into CG wolves and fight them. So.
Oh, yeah, I never understood the werewolf fights. It's like werewolves are coming to fight you. Okay, well, just fill shotguns with silver and it's over. It's like,
apparently, yeah, I haven't seen the Leywinall werewolf movie, but apparently there it's like all because I heard Andrew talking about it, and we're just like, he said it's almost like the Purge. Like there was like a big moon event, and if anybody was outside during that time, they're permanently werewolves for the rest of their lives.
Oh, that sucks.
So,
but again, bring the silver.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll just get into it. We Act 1. We get a red-hued production banners, which is like a theme throughout the movie of red lit stuff, which looks fucking awesome in this movie.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily mean anything. It just looks cool. So
yeah, this is a great vibe movie. It's an amazing, like I'm just into this. Just the way it looks. Yeah, the stories. I mean, it's kind of like sometimes they miss a few notes playing the piano thing, but it's like I still like the vibe of this. I like the chorus.
Yeah. And so it opens on a cavern that's also lit in red. The camera comes out of the cavern and looking into the night sky, and then we pan down to the crater gym.
Which I love the name.
Why does that have some meaning?
No, it's just like crater. It's like the hellhole gym.
Oh, okay.
It's like we're at the bottom of something, and based on things that happen later in the movie, it is ironic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you pick up where this takes place? It's like outside Las Vegas, right? But is it in Nevada or is it somewhere before that?
I thought it was in New Mexico.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, but like border New Mexico.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the one.
Because I know it's set in the late '80s.
Yeah, it's '89 because there's one that says that, and also the one guy says that at the shooting range says ever since Die Hard came out, everybody wants to shoot the Beretta. So. Yeah. Which that was '87, I think.
Yep, I got one of those Berettas for a reason. Still have it. Nice gun.
And we get the titles "Love Lies Bleeding," which paces over the front, which I thought was like a unique name, but turns out there's another movie called "Love Lies Bleeding." So, this might even have an origin somewhere else in a song or something. Like, did you pick up anything on that, Nathan? Does this have an origin elsewhere?
There is something in the Bible.
Okay.
Like Jesus is on the cross, and there is a quote. It's like, "See his blood, that love lies bleeding for you for the sins of man." I was
Oh,
like,
okay, huh?
cool. All right. I don't know if that's where they got
I
it.
didn't pick up on that at all. So no, I just maybe.
There's also a flower that is I forget what it's called, but it's also referenced in the Bible, and it looks like it's bloody,
Okay.
like the stem of it does, but the plumes are beautiful and white. There's a name for it. But yeah.
Huh.
So it could be like a biblical origin, or it just sounds cool.
Yeah.
Because it could just mean, see, there's things with, like, this is like the fun with the English language, because lies, and lies. What does it mean? Lying down, telling a lie, lying with someone. It's like, and so it could just be three things that, like, if you put an apostrophe after them, that's what's going on in this movie: love, lies, and bleeding. All kinds of different ways.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of the English language, where multiple words mean the same thing. And being it was written by British people, they know the language better than we do because they invented it. So they might like to play these games.
I don't know. You ever hear British slang? It's like the dumbest shit in the world.
Well, it's like it's roundabout rhyming stuff. And
well, is that, and then like like we'll call something like, "Hey, that's." I'm not even like that's a bricklayer, and they'll call it, and then like in Britain, it's like that's a bougie woogie. It's like, what the fuck are you talking? Are you children? Like, what the fuck's wrong?
It's a magical world you're in. You're the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. There you go. Now, my favorite one is like that I've encountered, because I've dealt with like British and Australian like people in material moving. It's like skip lorry, and it's like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, well, the skip lorry, I said the tractor trailer, the semi truck. Well, those terms don't make any sense. I said, no, tractor trailer makes perfect sense. Makes a lot more sense than skip lorry.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? It's like, well, when they had dray animals, it was the thing they pulled had a name. It's like, okay, there's no animals involved in this. And, it's yeah.
Do you know what they call electricians in the UK?
Wiremen.
Think dumber. Think childish.
No, I give up.
Sparkies.
That's dumb.
That's like asking. It's like, I hope you die. And I got that.
Well, they do have some things that make more sense, though. I do like calling the pharmacy. It's like, I'm going to go to the chemist and get my medicine.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
That actually makes more sense to me. That's actually what he is.
I like in German, it's funner, the apothecary.
Yes, now that is cool.
Which I think it's actually Greek, but whatever.
It's the apothecary. It's like, why are you and your love going to fake your death? It's like, for my heart condition. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I find the term Sparkies to be extra offensive, being like every outlet in fucking Britain is like 240, and like that's like our high end equipment stuff in our houses here in America. It's like,
yeah, like you could run like pretty good like tool and die equipment off that kind of voltage.
Yeah. But they have that shit because it's cheaper, and America decided to be safer. So.
I think it's only us in Japan that have that.
It costs so much money to make.
Oh yeah,
because you have to have a transformer basically every you have to have like 3 times as many transformer stations to support that low of electricity going into a house. So.
They had a fire risk thing so bad in parts of Japan, it's 90 volts at the socket.
Huh.
Because they wanted to lower it even further for the dry season in case the power lines came down or something. Yeah, they had some now, because some Japanese electronics were designed to function that way. On that lower power stuff. Like some of them had like capacitors and batteries in them to charge up overnight and stuff. They had weird, because you ever notice like a lot of Japanese electronics, like, why is the red light on? off means off. It doesn't mean green to red. And why is that thing still on? It's like, yeah, some of those things were designed that way.
Huh.
We New York and Chicago played around with going to 100 volts at one time.
Okay.
Because of the fire risks in the buildings and the
Yeah.
walls and stuff, but they never did. We do 120. But yeah, the stuff coming out. If you ever seen a plug for a cell phone in the UK, it's like the plug is bigger than the phone.
Oh yeah, well yeah, they all have this. The plug is actually brilliantly designed.
Yeah, it's clever
for like it'll keep you safe. So, also, I think every electrical socket has like a circuit breaker in it. There's like a light switch on the socket, so there's things around that. But
well, I know this guy from Australia was explaining to me how if you thought you were going hot, which because they have like 2 power plants in their country or something, like whatever it is, they have to just pour power into those lines. And he was saying, if you put like, because they'll build a house and they'll give you like 2 outlets in the kitchen. It's like, so you're putting like, multipliers on there and stuff, but they all have a switch on it. And he goes, if you think you're going hot, it's like a wooden stick that looks like a nightstick. It's this long, and that's what you turn it on. Go hot, and you turn that on, your hands on it. Well, guess what? It's gonna light you up like a Christmas tree. I was like, that's I've never thought about plugging anything.
Residential arc flash. It's a fun thing.
Yeah, do I need to wear like a high calorie suit so my clothes don't get bummed? It's like,
the camera follows a lady into a gym. It's like the 80s or something, which it is. Which
yes,
like you can figure that out from the trailer because it seems very 80s and also has the Bronski beat. What's that? Lonely Kid or what is that? I can't remember.
Yeah. Which one is that? Let me look it up real quick.
Small Town Boy. That's it.
Okay.
There's shots of people working out. There's the stereotypical shitty motivational posters. Stuff like, pain is just weakness leaving the body. It's like, yeah or could it be injury? Whatever. Fucking morons. Because this definitely wasn't an era of like figuring out the safest way to work out. Just like, no, murder your body. Like the more you break down your muscles, the more it will heal over and create bigger muscles. It's like, so is those muscles or is that scar tissue? It's like, it's all scar tissue, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna die of the same heart attack as someone who just eats ice cream and pizza all day. You're gonna die at roughly the same time, but but you're gonna look really cool.
We get Lou, played by Kristen Stewart, which like the one lady calls her Lulu, and then everybody calls her Lou. So I'm guessing her real name is Lulu. That's not how she's written up in the credits, though. It's just Lou. So
yeah, it's just Lou, like a man's name, Luis.
Okay.
I think Ed Harris says Luis once.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or Luis, I'm not sure. Yeah.
She's unclogging a toilet by hand. She's got a staff muscle shirt on.
Yeah, because it's obviously like full of feces. And stuff. There's a lot of very uncomfortable visual stuff.
Yeah. I feel like if you're a lady director, sometimes you gotta do that stuff to prove you can do it. It's like, I'm not dainty, fuck you.
Women's restrooms also can be, they're a special kind of nightmare.
Yeah.
There's like hygiene products they have that we don't, and people always throw those in the toilet even though there's signs everywhere.
We get Daisy, played by Anna Baryshnikov, who's like pretty great in this movie for like a terrible role. Like her character's terrible. Like you hate everything about her, but she does a great job at it.
She's an innocent psychopath.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm fun.
And she really stands out in the trailer too, where it feels like she's gonna be like
every other scene with her.
Yeah. Well, it feels like she's gonna be some Fight Club thing. Is like, is she real or someone's figment of their imagination? It's like, I don't know.
She almost doesn't seem real.
Yeah. Because she like only interacts with Lou.
Yeah.
But she does get killed by somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's like,
then it's not a Tyler Durden moment.
Yeah. The toilet gets unclogged. That's where like in the trailer it says, look like you got your hands full. Which I think they then cut to like a sex scene or something in the trailer. So. Daisy is asking Lou out. She's got like I said, druggy teeth, which I assume that's what's going on here.
Yeah, she looks. What do they call that? Meth mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a good look.
She seems like she's constantly on drugs, but they never like they only show her smoking weed though. So I don't know. Maybe she's just an unkept weed head.
No, she was some desert rat that's on.
Okay.
No, no one's teeth are that messed up. Well, I don't know. Maybe really poor people are, but she seems like someone who's on something. And also, her eyes are huge.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they enhanced that for the movie or she really looks like that, but her eyes are exceptional.
She's got anime eyes.
Beat balls. Like, wow, your eyes are huge. I think they might have done something with that though, because it seemed to be a point of like this character looks weird.
Yeah.
Because she has the searching psychotic eyes where her eyes and what things she say don't match up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a bad person.
So yeah, Lou says she's too busy and she has to help her sister, so she just gives her money and she leaves, which I don't know if that's what she originally, because I figured that's just drug money.
Yeah.
And she keeps saying like, yeah, let's go to Whippy's or something like that. I can't remember. Some restaurant or bar or dance club or something. I don't know.
I thought it was a bar, but yeah.
Okay. Then we cut to JJ, played by Dave Franco, is having sex with Jackie, played by Katie O'Brien, who I think when I pointed this out, he was like, that's her? It's like, because I remember her from, she's like the duplicitous Empire agent. And
right.
I thought it was in Mandalorian or was it an episode of Andor? I can't remember. I think it was.
No, it was in the Mandalorian because she was like, they were doing their penance for being in the Empire, but she was very duplicitous. And that one guy, when they were doing the brain erasing, she did something to make it like basically fry his brain.
Yeah, yeah.
Turns out she was still an agent for the Grand Moff. Guy, Gus Fring, Grand Moff. That guy, yeah.
Which she was great in that, which I think she is like a stunt actor now, just become an actor. So,
yeah.
Because she's like a bodybuilder in this movie. So
she was a cop in Indiana for 7 years.
Huh. Okay.
Indianapolis. And I didn't know she was like German and African American. I thought she was like whatever The Rock is.
Oh, Samoan?
Yeah, I thought she was like Samoan or something. I didn't know. It's like, no, she's like African American and German. Like, she looks like.
I mean, The Rock's African American and Samoan. So.
Oh, I thought he was purely Samoan. I didn't know.
No, his dad was. Oh shit, who was his dad? His dad was Rocky something. I can't remember. The Rock's dad. His dad was a famous wrestler, Rocky Johnson.
Okay.
He was like a famous black wrestler in the 70s. So,
did not know that about him. But yeah, I thought she was like, oh, this is like one of the Rocks.
Yeah.
Like, this is one of those people, but it's like, no, not really. Even though she looks exactly like that, it's like maybe it's just she's so.
I don't know. I guess I just gave her own look. I didn't expect anything out. But also with a name like Katie O'Brien, you expect her to be Irish. So.
Yeah, that's German and African American. Okay, cool.
He gives her a card for a job offer, so that's basically what the sex was about, was just for the potential at a job offer. It's like, well,
it was one of the worst sex scenes I've ever seen. It was like, it was obvious nobody enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, he like takes the condom out, throws it outside the car, and says like, "Be safe out there," and just lets her out of the car. Yeah. He drives off in his Camaro, so he's doing the full 80s.
I didn't know it was James Franco's brother.
Oh yeah.
Looking through the credits.
Well, I mean, they look similar, but like they have way different voice patterns. So I think that's, but also the name Franco is kind of not really that. Well, it's kind of unique, so it makes sense. Jackie wakes up after sleeping under an overpass, and then she just starts working out in the morning, like doing like pull-ups on like the bricks on the on the underpass or the overpass.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, this is sad. But we cut to Lou listens to a book on tape to quit smoking, which I guess that's a big thing. That would be a big thing in the 80s. So.
Yep. Oh yeah, all that self-help stuff.
Yeah, which it still is today. Now they have apps, so now it seems like it's now it's extra on you that Lou goes to help her sister Beth, played by Jenna Malone, who was kind of like, I don't know, like early 2000s, like big, like like in a bunch of teenager movies.
Yeah, I remember her.
I think she was in like the Virgin Suicide and stuff like that. And there's the one, oh man, I can't remember. There's a crazy one it's in where she basically like gets pregnant, and it's a really dark movie, really dark comedy. So, but it was, yeah, like I haven't seen her for a while, so that was interesting. Oh wait, she's in Neon Demon. That's right.
Okay, yeah.
Is there anybody else from Neon Demon in this?
Don't remember. She was also in Sucker Punch.
Never. I heard so many bad things about that. Like a great trailer, but I heard it was such a bad movie. I never even bothered. So.
Oh, it's visually amazing, but yeah, as a movie, it's like terrible. It's like not even worth watching. I think she was in. Oh, what else was she in? That movie they made. It was based on a Thomas Pynchon novel. Joaquin Phoenix was the main character. She was one of the girls in that. Inherent Vice.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that, but I wasn't sure. Saved was the movie I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
There, it's like... Yeah, she's in like some Christian high school. She gets pregnant, and then everybody hates her for it, and then she kind of flips it around on them.
But yeah, I hadn't seen her in a while. She looks a lot. They made her look a lot older in this, but she was had pretty heavy makeup on. Too.
Yeah. Well, every time you see her, she has like a new,
yes.
bruise or something broken. So it's immediately like, oh, he's beating her up. So, but yeah, Lou takes the kids to school, and we see that JJ is her husband. It's like, okay, so he's a creep. So.
Yeah.
Then we cut to Jackie shows up at Louisville, not Louisville, Louisville, because it's owned by Lou. Lou even names his daughter Lou, so Lou really loves himself. It's the Louisville Gun Club. JJ shows her around the gun range. This is where he's talking about like how foreigners love to show up and shoot guns here. This is where he mentions that ever since Die Hard came out, everyone wants to shoot the Beretta. Which I think they shoot it once in this movie.
Yeah.
I think in the trailer they have her shooting like a Desert Eagle, and then that's never in the movie, I don't think.
Yeah, they always try to find something iconic. The website that lists all the guns in every movie, it hasn't been updated for this one yet, so I couldn't really find every gun in the movie.
Yeah, I mean that's not really that important, but yeah. I like to mention it sometimes.
Yeah, we like firearms, people.
Well, it's like 80s firearms, so it's almost extra iconic because there's so many new things coming around then. They go to Lou Sr. This is played by Ed Harris. Office, which he does great in this role. It's a crazy role.
Crazy hair.
Yeah. She's looking for a job, and she says she prefers to know her own strength because what's the line? It's like, do you like guns? She's like, not really. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? So,
yeah. Yeah, the Ed Harris terse dialogue is totally on display in this movie, and it works well. It's like really cool.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's got to be in his 70s at this point. 74.
Okay. Then we cut to Lou is laminating memberships. Remember laminators?
Oh yeah, I remember those.
She notices Jackie walking around in the gym, and she becomes infatuated with her. Some guys start. What is it? Oh yeah. Some guys start talking to Lou about her dad and her mom, and then it's revealed that he's an FBI agent. Which is just kind of like a catalyst in this movie. Like they don't really do anything.
Yeah, they're just kind of there to propel the narrative a little bit. Yeah,
that's fine.
This is very much a vibe movie.
Yeah,
It's like, see what happens.
I mean, yeah, it's all about emotions and character interactions, not necessarily like a plot heavy movie. So, because basically everything that happens is kind of spontaneous. So, like, what do you expect? So,
Yeah, and it becomes more surreal as time goes
yeah.
on. It's like it's not really like, oh, just by the end of this thing, we just hit the gas. Like, oh, nuts, but it's really cool. It's nothing wrong with it.
Lou closes the gym all of a sudden and kicks everyone out. Jackie goes outside and gets a smoke from Lou. They talk a bit. Jackie and some bodybuilder fight when like she rejects him, which is like crazy. So, uh, then Jackie and Lou hang out in the gym, and then Jackie gets a bag of ice. She talks about she's from Oklahoma and she's been hitchhiking to go to a Las Vegas bodybuilding competition. So she's just hanging out here before she gets to Las Vegas. For some reason, I don't know. Like maybe it's cheaper to train in New Mexico than Vegas. Um,
Yeah, I don't understand the economics of bodybuilding.
yeah,
The only thing I've ever watched about that was the Schwarzenegger thing
yeah,
when he first came here and when he started, and like the one from the 70s, and then they kind of redid it to transcend with modern times. And it's like, that's like one of the hardest roads to travel, like professional bodybuilder. It's like, there's no money in it. You're constantly, you're being screwed over by people, lied to. Everyone's trying to get a deal.
pumping
Uh,
iron.
yeah, you're supposed to like work and make money, but also like just stress your body out to the highest level.
Yeah, yeah, you're basically working out 4 hours a day because that's your job, and you don't make any money off of it. So.
Yeah, no, you're just sleeping in weird places, and you're trying to eat 10,000 calories a day
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Wow, this is nuts.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of weird sex stuff with that because people can take advantage of you when you don't have any money, but you got a nice body. So,
Yeah. After watching that movie and then having it like, there was kind of an updated version of it. It's like, it's amazing he's still alive.
yeah,
It's like, and then a lot of his behavior that went on later in his life that everyone castigates him for. It's like, no, these were patterns that were established a long, long time. And he's just, especially like people that are like very European like that. It's like, oh yeah, weird sex is just in the mix, man. It's what they do. So,
the church doesn't beat you down in Europe.
yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, people are freer there when it comes to that, where we have other freedoms here, like destructive weapons. Like, that's our freedom. It's like, oh yeah, you guys are weird about sex. Meanwhile, you have 2 guns on you that hold like 30 rounds.
I got a Glock and some tannerite in a tube. Like I'm gonna create an emotional orgasm with my guns.
Yeah, Europeans' obsession with sex really bothers me. I'm gonna go shoot something now. I'm gonna blow something to bits with a gun, and everyone's gonna be like, cool. Every culture has their own thing.
Lou heads off to go grab something, and then she comes.
Or I'm going to eat a pizza that could feed 12
yeah.
myself. It's like, yeah, those are American crazy. And they're crazy, and I recognize them as they're crazy because they're cool. It's also cool to do that.
That's just your standard American. Like, if you come from like half wealth, you can like do amazing things with your body and your time and your abilities.
Yeah, if you're above middle class, it's like, oh, the door is open wide. It's like, you can have a rocket pack. Like, what? Yeah, sure.
Because like with the support systems, that European system that they have, and like the kind of education there, they should be beating us at everything, and they beat us in like, I don't know, nothing.
Yeah.
Well, except for their babies tend to survive more than ours do. So
I think their culture has a little more depth than ours.
Yeah, they have a history that they can grab onto, I guess. So
because whenever I watch like or read like really heavily European stuff that like makes sense to me, I was like, oh, this is so much better than the stuff we do. But then I go like shoot tannerite and throw grenades. I'm like, I'm cool. We're having a good time. Doesn't matter.
But it's like I watched that Ferrari movie, and I don't know how much of that is indicative of Italian culture. But I was like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
That seems like unnecessary dramatic to spend your life like that. It's like just pure emotions and engineering.
Well, you want to know something crazy? Like, because I got to know like there's a lot of British people that used to work and still do work where I do, and when you get to know them well enough and you start talking about things, it's like, hey, what's it like where you're from? Just standard conversation. you would be shocked at how much more money we make than they do. It's like, actually, like, what do you mean? It's like, oh yeah, you guys putting together cars. You don't buy cars if you have this job over there. You take the bus. It's like,
Yeah.
you can't afford a car. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, no, you can't. You can't afford one, and you're not owning. You own a house. You don't own a house over there. When you start hearing these little things, it's like, okay, shallow idiot culture and stuff. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'd like to own something for the
Yeah,
minor
yeah.
amount of time I'm going to be alive, because the healthcare system is not going to help me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like something. I'm gonna catch a disease like or something sooner than you, but it's like I'm probably not gonna lose my mind or forget about everything. But yeah, I think that's the reason they're all sex perverts is like that's something you carry with you on your body. You don't need to like buy extra stuff to. It's like it's with you. So it's yeah, that's why we don't. It's like boobs. No, let's go murder a deer. Boobs lead to kids.
Lou goes off to grab some steroids, and then Lou gives her an injection in the ass. So.
Yeah, and they're explained as they're like crazy, like Eastern European steroids.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, these are Romanian steroids, like whatever that means.
Oh, I thought they said like West Germany or something, or East Germany.
Oh, I thought they said Romania. Okay.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
I mean, all those Romanians, Bulgarians, huge bodybuilding cultures there.
Yeah. So after the injection, they start making out. They go back to Lou's to have sex. Jackie's muscles like kind of burst a bit during the sex, so this is like the kind of first of the Hulk out kind of stuff here, which will have more implications throughout the movie, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
But you don't know if it's reality or not, and you still won't. So.
I'm gonna just as a thing here. I'm gonna say like the sex scenes between Lou and Jackie are vaguely disconcerting and enthralling at the same time.
That's what happens when you have a woman directing your movie.
Well, they
because it's so specific that you're like, oh, this is real.
Yeah, these people know about lesbian sex. But that's not really what I got out of it. What made it disconcerting to me is like, is there going to be a Cronenberg moment?
Oh yeah.
Like, why is she inflating? Like, that doesn't actually happen in real sex, not to that degree. So are we going to have like long live the new flesh moment or whatever? Yeah. It doesn't happen during sex, but it is kind of like it makes it jarring enough where you actually pay more attention.
Yeah.
Usually on those scenes, I can either take them or leave them. But in this case, it's like, oh, what's going on? Do lesbians have huge biceps when they have sex? Am I missing something?
Oh, I think I missed a bit. I feel like I missed a bit. Yeah, because it's like the first time she goes home from the gym and she just like makes a TV dinner and masturbates on the couch, like by like laying on the couch face down and just kind of like grinds against the couch. So.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, sad, but it's like, oh, well, do what you got to do.
I mean, yeah, just get the poison out. But then, like in this movie, there's always the overhanging thing. Like, is she going to grow a tail? Like, what's going to happen?
He put this disease in me.
Yeah. God. Very disconcerting. But that's what makes it cool.
So
red light and that kind of dialogue and those actions, it's like, is this a horror movie?
I think I described this as like No Country for Old Men meets an Italian horror movie.
Yeah, it's like Suspiria, but we got like it's like West Texas dialogue.
Yeah.
Like some ladies like having like lizard sex with another woman. The guy sitting at a kitchen table smoking a cigarette. I used to think God would come into my life, but he didn't, and I don't blame him. It's like, what the hell? This is great.
I have the sex scene being the act 1. We got act 2. Lou's making breakfast. Jackie wakes up and gets coffee. Jackie tells her she's working at the gun range, which Lou tells her not to work there because that's her dad's place. Jackie asks Lou if she can stay, and she says yes. So now it's less sad that she's just like sleeping under an overpass or whatever. So,
yeah, that would be weird to be driving to work on the freeway and like there's a giant woman doing what's going on here? I do need to quit smoking.
Then we cut to Jackie is working at Lou's as a waitress because I guess this is also just a gun range slash like restaurant, outdoor restaurant.
This looks like the coolest gun range ever. Like you can smoke, shoot guns, and get drunk.
Yeah, is this a place that exists, Nathan? Have you ever been to a gun range like
You
this?
couldn't get insurance on a place where we're
Yeah.
serving Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's like you could never insure that. Maybe in the 80s you could. Maybe in New Mexico you can. But
Yeah, maybe like that has enough distance from the gun range to be considered a separate establishment or something like that.
I mean, the gun ranges around here are like it's like if you just fire 2 shots too close, they're like, oh no rapid fire. It's like I completely reset the trigger. What are you talking about? I like the gun range you went to. It's like you can only put 10 bullets in the magazine, no matter what it holds. It's like, oh, okay. So I just grabbed my stuff and left. See you later.
I've never been to one of that yet. So.
I got my money back.
Oh,
They
okay.
didn't even question it. I was like, yeah, no thanks. Their paperback. I said nope, and immediately just beep beep beep. Beep. It's like, yep. Well, the guy who was the range officer was just being a dick.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I'm done.
Yeah, whenever
There was no Pabst Blue Ribbon going on.
Yeah, whenever you show up here, we go to the public gun range, which is a whole thing unto itself.
Oh, that's a party.
Yeah.
I'm loose there. I'm like got the margarita machine out. People are staring at me. I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Hey, what's up? You know, we got people coming up like, are those weapons legal to own? It's like, yeah, they are.
In this state, yeah. Got people complimenting rifles and stuff.
Yeah, that's really amazing. You have that. All it takes is thousands of dollars, my friend. It can be yours.
Yeah, it's cool, right? This is the only thing we're going to agree on. I don't want to talk to you outside of this place.
Have you heard about the Lord? It's like, no, okay, you ruined it. But yeah, I would love a gun range like this, where you can just like set a beer. I mean, as long as no one's getting killed.
Yeah. I guess that's what people have farms for, you know. You just do that yourself. So.
Oh, I would love to live in the country and shoot guns off the back porch, but then when you learn about engineered septic fields and things, you're like, nah, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
Like, at some point in the next 5 to 20 years, your front yard could be filled with feces, and it's going to cost you $15,000 to fix it. It's like, nope, I'm done. I'll live in the city like all the other sheep.
We got a montage with Jackie and Lou. Like they were working, hanging out, having sex, doing roids. Because also, Lou does steroids. Because she's like, she like flashes her arms. Is it working out? Because this is very kind of like she's very,
she's stringy,
bowl, I guess, or what do you call that? Like, she's kind of going for like a, I can't remember. The more butch, lesbian kind of thing going on there. Which I'm not sure. Jackie's going for muscles, so I don't know. But she also has like long hair, so she's kind of going for more of an 80s kind of swimsuit vibe there too.
Well, she later says she's like completely bisexual.
Yeah.
She's not like purely just like, she's like, I'm both directions because I love the female body. That's why I'm exercising all the time.
Well, and she grew up fat, and so that she has all sorts of insecurities, so she just gives into sex very easily to get approval and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's all that.
There's
stuff.
There's all sorts of psychological stuff going on here that you can pick out on if you want. So.
Yeah, it's
go
there.
Go full Verhoeven Effect.
I think it's actually part of the story. It's mentioned.
But sometimes like but the story didn't say that directly, so it doesn't mean that. It's like, yeah, man, sometimes you got to bring your own shit. So.
Yeah, why else would people act this? None of these people are clearly happy, so you can peel back a few layers and find out why.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I think on a practical level, like, well, these people having this much sex, so how could they be unhappy? It's like, well, a lot of psychological problems, and the sex is kind of covering it up. So
their sex is my large pepperoni pizza. It's the same thing. It's just they're sexy enough to have sex, and all I can rise to is large pepperoni pizza. So thing. It's
You
don't
gotta
have
go
to.
where your talents lie, I guess.
Yeah, it depends, where you're at in life and what your interests are. But
We also got a
your
montage.
rampant sex orgy, my large pizza, equal sign is the same result.
We get a montage of gun running through Lou Senior, which this is kind of purely on the periphery and never really caught up on. So it's all up to you that's what's going on. Which it seems like there's running guns to Mexico for whatever
Yeah,
reason. So
yeah, that's always
I mean, I guess that could be going down to Central America for like the Contras or whatever. So
yeah, you never know in the lady. Well, that's always kind of a misnomer that like all the guns that are used by the cartels are from Mexican or from American gun stores.
yeah,
There's a sign that shows up in this movie. It's like Mexican border. If you bring firearms here, the penalty is prison. And in Mexican prison, which is like the worst kind of prison, it's like the whole of Calcutta or something. But yeah, that's always the misnomer that like, well, the cartel just sends straw buyers up to Texas to buy semi-automatic rifles. It's like, yeah, they can buy fully automatic weapons out of Guatemala all for like $100.
yeah.
It's like they're not buying like
If you pay the shipping fees, any
$100.
country will ship you an AK-47. So.
Yeah, you're not buying like these stainless steel mini 14 for $2,000. You can buy a case of hand grenades and 15 AK-47s and 10,000 rounds for $100 or whatever the exchange rate is. I don't know. But yeah, they always make it sound like we're killing other people too. It's like I'm sure some handguns wind up down there, but the drug cartels are so huge and they have more money than large corporations. Like they could just buy guns directly from Russia. It's like, can I get like man pads? Like, sure.
We got to have I think maybe she's talking to she's talking to somebody, but Lou's mom is proposed to be missing and probably dead. I think the FBI agent's talking to her again or something.
Yeah.
Then we cut to Lou Senior is walking Jackie Pose and shoots a bullet near her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't pay you to do that. And
which is like nuts because like that woman could tear your arms off, shoot a gun at her head. It's like, okay, but then he wants to give her a shooting lesson.
Yeah,
so
he shows her how to shoot and kind of like, and it's kind of weirdly sexual, where he's like he's instructing her and she's following the instructions. So,
well, what I like about this scene is it is whispery and he's like against her body and holding her arm, but it's the gun that makes him excited, not her. It's the scene really cool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's being a sex pest. It's like, no, it's even worse than that.
He wants the fucking gun.
He wants that gun because it kills people and he likes that. Worse than being a sex pest. That's another level.
Also, like in the first scene with him, he has some weird larva thing, so he has some weird bug thing too.
Oh yeah. He has the Goliath beetle and the Goliath beetle larvae and stuff, which that's a sign of a crazy person.
So yeah, he shows her how to shoot. She's shooting the Beretta here, I believe so.
The stainless steel one, really nice one.
And then there's intercut of like Lou Senior killing a guy and dumping his body in a cavern. This is like all the lit under red and looks really cool. And then like the body descending into the cavern with the face covered in the bullet hole in the head. It's like really stylish, like it's like music video out of nowhere.
Execution style, yeah. Yeah, it seems like an execution that should be set to like a Alice in Chains song. Video vibe to it.
Then we cut to Jackie invites Lou to come with her to the competition in Las Vegas, and Jackie proposes to keep driving from Las Vegas to California to start a new life. Or here she's like, yeah, I'll get a sponsor, and then she'll become like a trainer and stuff like that. Which that's basically is like the path for those people because like you said, it's weird. There's like no money in it, but there's a lot of draw for some reason.
Oh no, the people that do that are cool as hell. I mean, the amount of effort and work that takes is like that's always been amazing to me.
Yeah, I mean that's also what I appreciate about like wrestlers too, because there's not a lot of money in wrestling. There can be, but it's at the top, and
Yeah.
like the kind of things where they have to like move from town to town, and also have to like keep their body in form at the same time, and just like handle injuries with with no health insurance, and like just keep going. It's like a impossible task. So
Yeah, and if I get a flat tire on the way home, it's like I'm having a pizza tonight. It's like the drive and the focus it takes. That's why I always respected fighters too. It's like because
yeah,
I've worked with guys that are like, I'm doing the MMA thing,
yeah,
like, and you're knocking cars together. It's like, okay, one of those things is gonna interfere with the other
yeah.
bad. It always does, and it's always sad. But you know what? Most of those guys, they'll quit knocking cars together. I mean, they'll go out and try it. They won't always succeed. As a matter of fact, I know of zero that did. But sometimes I see that, and I'm like, I really respect that.
Yeah.
I would do that, but it's like, yeah, respect what you're doing. As for me, I'll take the pension. But it's when I see that, it's like, man, there's someone who actually like. It's not even a smart choice. Safe choice. It's not a good
Yeah,
choice.
it's a
It's
dream
still,
or something. They gotta test their limits, see how far they can go.
yeah, yeah. The MMA fighter guys that I worked with always, it's like they come back Monday. It's like, hey, what'd you do this weekend? They got their hand taped up. It's like, I'm gonna try to work through this. It's like I broke two of my fingers. It's like you're not gonna run it. You're not gonna run screws for 8 hours with fingers, man. That's gonna. There's not enough painkillers for that. But yeah, they kept doing it though. I respect them.
This is also where we get the line where Lou says, "I've never been anywhere but here," so she doesn't know if like running away to California is a good idea or not. So.
Which is actually a great character moment for Lou because it makes you feel even. It's like, well, this situation sucks, but man, it just got 100 times worse.
Yeah.
It's like I hate where I am. I hate my dad. My mom was probably killed in some way, and it's like I've never been anywhere else. I can't imagine anything else.
Yeah.
Just kind of just what I was talking about with the guys who want to like be fighters and stuff. It's like, yeah, I couldn't imagine anything else. Good luck,
Then we cut to we have dinner with Beth, JJ, Lou, and Jackie. So it's all kinds of awkward. JJ
Yes.
is bad with the chopsticks, and then like Beth ends up like he drops something in his pants, and she's like trying to wipe it off. He's like, "Don't touch my dick in a restaurant." She said, and then like he's also sitting across from the woman he cheated on his wife with. So
Yeah, which is like it's a weird dinner.
like,
At dinner.
I think she also has a new injury or something like on her lip. I think so.
Yeah, yeah, she's obviously been punched by this man.
um. So yeah, they have a contentious and obviously abusive relationship, and so Lou confronts JJ in the bathroom about touching Beth. Then he counters with his sexual encounter with Jackie, which pisses her off, because now she's like, "Oh, does Jackie just get what she wants with sex and then throw people away? that's what's going on here." It's like, well, it's along the same lines. It's not
Yeah.
exclusive. So um, 'cause Jackie hasn't had sex with anybody else while she's been having sex with Lou. So, but also she's like, is she just there because I have a gym and a house, so,
Yeah.
or an apartment? So, then there's a bad ride home with Jackie and Lou. Lou is weird about Jackie having sex with men, like at all in general. So I thought you're lesbian. What's wrong with you? And then Jackie gets out of the truck, and they have a even weirder conversation about life and stuff while like she's walking alongside the truck. So, Lou says she wants to kill JJ, and then Lou spots the FBI agents and tells Jackie to get back in the car. Which she does. Then we cut to Jackie's doing dishes, and then Lou comes up behind her and like feels her up, like almost like she's looking for a wire or a weapon or something.
Yeah, it's I didn't know what was going on at first.
And then she starts finger, and then she asks Jackie to like masturbate in front of her, and she like judges her masturbation. So,
Yeah.
and then they have crazy sex. so,
And I was expecting, and no one grew a tail, even though
No.
it was kind of that weird thing again, that weird vibe around it.
But here's actually the weird thing. It cuts to it's night, they're in bed, and they declare love for each other, and then there's just this sudden cut to morning. It's like, did that previous scene happen? I don't know. They smash cut to morning. There's a ringing phone. Jackie and Lou go to the hospital where Beth is in the hospital on a breather, and her face is beaten to a pulp because obviously JJ got mad at her.
Yeah, I mean, and this woman looks like she was in a car accident.
Yeah. And she was just punched like repeatedly. Yeah. Presumably because like all you see is his hand is kind of bloody. It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Lou Senior shows up. He says he'll take care of Beth, and says like they're gonna take care of this. Which you think that immediately means okay, they're all getting to kill JJ, but then actually Lou is like breaks down the scenario of that. It's like you can't just kill a guy. She's gonna be mad at you for doing that. It's like, yeah.
Someone's gonna talk.
Yeah. Then Lou kind of starts breaking down while Jackie's roiding up, and then Jackie takes the truck and leaves. We cut to JJ gets home at night. His hand is bloody from beating Beth, and then he takes he listens to the answering machine where like Lou Senior left a message. JJ starts drinking, and then he hears a door opening. He walks to their house and like he hears voices, like outside.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Almost sounds. I thought it was a TV or something at first.
Maybe.
But yeah, I guess voices outside. Yeah, it was strange.
Well, I thought at first it's like, well, obviously Jackie's here, but then it's like, well, maybe Lou Senior showed up with one of his cronies, but or it could have been a neighbor, or it could have been a neighbor's TV, whatever. But then Jackie just pops out of the darkness and beats the shit out of JJ and rams his head into a table till like his jaw pops off.
Yeah.
So it's like that's crazy. Which it doesn't get that explicit, but there's like intercuts where it's like, oh, that looks bad.
Yeah, it's like kind of like horror from a distance.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, his jaw's clearly separated and his teeth are screwed up, but it's like not much more than that.
Yeah. But they're only like inserts, not really like close-ups and lingering on it or anything like that.
No.
Then we cut to Lou's woken up by a nurse. She can't find her keys, so she takes a cab. And then during the cab ride, she sees her truck and outside Beth's house and gets out of the cab. Great 80s, just throw some cash at the cab driver and leave. So. Lou goes in the
fun like throw money over the seat moment. Here.
I don't know, that was like such a thing in like every movie where someone had to take a cab and they're in a hurry. They just toss cash in the front and leave. So
yeah.
It's never like, oh, you didn't pay enough or anything like that. It's just like, oh, that's enough. I'll take this tip, whatever. Lou goes in the house and reacts to JJ's bloody body, which, you know, they just leave the camera on her and she just reacts to it. Lou finds Jackie in the bathtub where she's just kind of zoned out. Lou starts contemplating things and holds on the FBI business card. Then she rolls up JJ's body in a rug. They load the body in the Camaro. And then we cut to Lou drives the Camaro and body while Jackie follows in the truck. While they're at a stoplight, Daisy just shows up out of nowhere to harass Lou. Lou's able to shrug off Daisy, but now Daisy knows things. So
yeah,
she's like, "It's like that's your truck, right? Why are you driving a Camaro? When'd you get that?" And, you know.
Yeah, we know Daisy's like, she's way too observant.
Your observation will be the end of you. They drive out to a canyon. Lou gets out of the Camaro and douses it in gas. They push the car into the canyon, and then Lou lights a Molotov and throws it at the car. Yeah, it kind of explodes in the canyon. I mean, not like a big explosion, but makes a lot of smoke and fire going on. So
yeah, it is cool. She also dumped a bunch of gas down there.
Yeah. But I mean, they make an explicit thing that like cars don't blow up like they do in the movies, and here it's like, here it's almost like a movie explosion, but not that as much. So
it's not the mushroom cloud, like the clapping boom, gas cooking off in a tank, which is a real car fire.
Jackie and Lou kiss as the smoke rises. So that's how they deal with situations. So.
It's a nice scene. It's like, well,
we saved my sister.
Yeah.
Jackie wants to leave Las Vegas for Vegas like immediately. But Lou's trying to like cover up the murder. Lou suggests that there's other bodies in the canyon, and that will point the cops away from Jackie. And then Jackie just wants to run away. which is like that's her character thing. She's a hitchhiker, like
Yeah.
going to a bodybuilding competition. So
Yeah, everything's kind of transient for her. She's like, I don't have any roots here. Let's just leave.
yeah,
Just leave the corpses behind us. It's the best.
yeah. Which it seems like in the '80s was very doable. Just,
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was no like ring cameras everywhere. One's like, yeah, you could kill people all over the place.
Cut to Lou goes to Beth's house to clean up all the blood. We cut back to Jackie goes to leave the house with the doors locked, and then she starts doing some more roids and working on poses. We cut back to Lou is finishing cleaning up, and Lou Senior shows up. Lou hides in the closet until they leave, which is a bunch of like good like. You have like the guys like slightly look in her direction, but then nothing happens, so it's just good tension. It's like what will happen if he caught Lou there? So, then we cut to the cops are driving out to the canyon where the burning car is, this is a really cool overhead shot of the black cop cars in the canyon. And you see like the gash of the canyon through the area. Like it's a really cool looking shot. We cut to the cops are questioning Lou Senior, but the cop is on Lou Senior's payroll, so of course.
Yeah.
Because at some point it's like, oh yeah, he's asking all the right questions, and it's like, yeah, this is gonna be trouble for you. It's like, oh, he's on the take, so okay. We cut to Jackie gets back to Lou's. She's all roided out of her mind to the point where it's like she's just impulsively doing things. I also see the Jackie punched open the door, which that's a weird thing. It seemed like there's plenty of egresses out of that apartment that you didn't need to punch a door to get out, but whatever.
Yeah, I think Jackie murdering someone kind of has degraded her psychology.
Yeah. Jackie headbutts Lou to make her stop talking, and then Jackie heads out to hitchhike to Vegas, and she hops in some like drugged out hippie mobile thing. So
yeah, which you think something's going to happen and she's going to kill those guys.
Yeah,
because try to rape her or something.
Yeah.
But no, they just drop her off.
They do her. They do their due diligence and take her to the Vegas competition. They drop her off like right at the whatever casino, and then it says on the banner 1989 USFBB Championship. So
oh, that's where it says 1989. Okay,
yeah, that's where I got the exact dates from. So.
Okay,
So that being the end of Act 2, we got Act 3. They have a birthday for Bobby in the hospital because Beth
which
is there.
Especially sad.
Yeah. Beth laments that JJ is missing. Lou goes to get a soda, which I remember these soda machines where had like Coke was the obvious choice, so they just had the one giant button for Coke and then the smaller buttons for everything else.
Yes, I do remember those. And they used to cost like $0.25 or 50 cents.
Yeah, which when you're a kid, that's a lot of fucking money, and when it eats your quarter or 50 cents, you're like, oh, I'm ruined.
I'll never recover from
now this shit's like $3 for a 20-ounce Coke.
Yeah, I don't know. Cigarettes and pop I had to give up.
Lou Senior comes out and talks to Lou. He suspects something's up with Lou and basically just states out everything. He's like, oh, he basically sussed out everything exactly how it happened. So, very observant Lou Senior. So,
yeah, he knows a lot about crime and killing.
The cops tell Beth they found JJ's body, which then she breaks down. We cut to the cops are looking down in the canyon and they find more bodies down there. Then we cut back to the competition. The male bodybuilders on stage. We go to the back where Jackie's like starts prepping. We see like everyone else is prepping too. So like people are doing like stretches or workouts. We see the spray tan booth and all that. Which that's always a weird thing.
Yeah.
Because I got a friend who was a bodybuilder, and like after a bodybuilder competition, like all that shit just like congeals to like certain crevices on your body, and you're just orange for like 4 days.
Wow. Yeah, I know. Like, because I use airbrushes to build models, and I forget what I was looking at. I was looking at some kind of accessory once, and there's like a whole genre of like where you apply makeup with airbrushes.
Huh.
Like and that's what they do with the bodybuilders. They're using like air guns.
Yeah.
memory booth stuff, and it's like, man, airbrush makeup, and it's like, oh, it's wild because I just like, okay, what's this? I just clicked on it, and it's like, yeah, it's just like industrial adhesive application to your skin. It's like this can't be good. Um, but it was a way to mainly like used airbrushes to do like base layers, and it was for real like Broadway, like where all the makeup's bright and you have a lot of it. It
Okay.
wasn't like normal, like like the stuff you think of, like remember when Pris and Blade Runner had the airbrush and she
Yeah,
sprayed her eyes? It's like that kind of really theatrical stuff, but it's still wild to think of like, oh, you can apply makeup with this, huh?
yeah. And they have like canned spray tan too, because I know wrestlers use it all the time. So,
Yeah,
and it's funny.
our former and soon to be current president also enjoys it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. The point where he comes running and he just does it himself. He could pay someone to do that, but why pay people when he can steal from them? So-
Yeah, served him well.
Jackie shoots up some roids, puts on her bikini, and starts doing push-ups. We cut to the female competition starts, and they're posing before the judges. Jackie starts spiraling. There's like an appearance of Lou that I'm like, I don't think this is real, and it's not. So.
Oh, you mean where she vomits Lou up?
No. Like there's a part where like,
oh,
it's everybody's on stage. They go backstage, and she's like in the curtains, and then like Lou appears behind a curtain, and she's like, "Go get him."
Yeah,
It was like, I don't think that's real. So, it's not. Then Jackie goes out and does like an independent pose session, or however they call it, or single posing. Then she starts hallucinating hard, and then she vomits up Lou. Which I'm not even sure what to make of that. That's just some Cronenberg shit right there. So.
yeah. That now we're just going full body horror.
Which I can't even remember what Lou says to her. But then we cut back to reality, and she's vomited on stage, and she runs backstage as like she hears, like she starts to feel extra insecure and just starts beating up one of the other like models. Cut to Lou's hanging out with Daisy. Daisy gives her a weed cigarette as like a like a gift. There's also there's like a Daisy with like that's smoking, like she drew a character of herself smoking, but as a flower. Daisy's putting everything together about like like JJ's body being found and knowing it's his Camaro and all this stuff, and so it's like some sort of setup of blackmail. It's like, oh, this is where Daisy's sadistic and she just wants to keep Lou for herself.
Yeah,
because imagine like, especially small town 80s, they might be the only two lesbians in town. So
it's possible.
Then we cut to Jackie's being processed and put in jail. Jackie calls Lou. Daisy answers the phone naked and basically says like she's mine or something like that. And then we see Lou is sulking in the bathroom because she doesn't know how to get out of the situation. It's like, I gotta kill my dad. I gotta kill Daisy.
It's a list of murder is long.
I don't know how to leave this town. Yeah, because one murder didn't get her to leave town. Jackie gets bailed out by Lou Sr. Lou Sr. is giving Jackie a ride back. She wants to get out, but Lou Sr. is like, and Lou Sr. is going to let her, and then he convinces her to get back in. He's telling her that he's going to help her and Lou, which this seems suspect because it's like, well, yeah, obviously he's duplicitous. So
yeah. Doesn't seem like the helping type.
Lou Sr. gives Jackie a silenced pistol, which is like, I don't know, some sort of like Walther or something like that.
Yeah.
And tells her, call me when it's done, which we don't know what that means. We cut to Lou's having breakfast with Daisy. Lou's trying to figure out who she's going to sell out. Daisy, because she says something like, yeah, she told the cops something dependent on Jackie, right? I think that's what she was trying to do.
Yeah.
Daisy and Lou get back to Lou's, and then Daisy throws up for some reason. I don't know if it's the drugs or all the food she ate, or maybe the margaritas and breakfast. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was something to do with the margaritas. That's what I got out of it.
And then as she like basically Lou's gonna go grab stuff to clean up. Like you just see like this blood spray Lou in the face, and you cut back, and Daisy's been shot. I thought she got shot in the throat, but she's like shot through the cheek, and then she
Yeah.
falls over and starts bleeding. And then Jackie starts pointing the gun at Lou, which you don't know is like, oh, is she supposed to kill Lou? And I have no idea. And then she runs off.
Well, she does pull the trigger, but it just
Oh, it
clicks.
does? Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, huh.
Yeah, I had to rewind that. It's like, oh, but I guess her dad only gave her one bullet or something.
Yeah, or she had a Luigi moment, but Luigi knew what to do, so
Yeah,
just rack that shit in.
What's it? Tap rack something? Yeah.
Yeah, tap, rack, bang.
Yeah.
Tap the magazine, rack the slide, pull the trigger, bang.
Remember that Murder Hornets?
Lou starts cleaning up the blood in the apartment. Jackie tells Lou Sr. it's done. And then Jackie calls home, and she's like talking to her brother, who seems to be like way younger than her, like maybe half her age or something. And then her parents pick up the phone and say like, "You monster, never call here again." Which like,
yeah, it's really sad.
fuck, what does that mean? She just have like a super religious family and they can't accept her, or like what's going on there? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out if it was religion or just she'd done something bad. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Seemed to be completely rejected by her family, so which just establishes things about the character.
I mean, it could be something like with her promiscuity, where she basically she probably had sex with a lot of people and got in trouble or something. So
yeah,
in trouble with their family or whatever. It's not actual trouble. It's unconceivable. Then we cut to the FBI shows up at Lou's door. She hides the body real quick. She rolls Daisy up in the rug as well and like shoves her behind the couch. But this seems like so haphazard. It's like, this isn't going to work. The FBI are going to sniff this one.
Figure this out. They're federal agents.
The cat licks up the blood while she's talking to the FBI agent. They show off photos of like all the skeletons at the bottom of the cavern. Oh yeah, I like this because we saw this book. There's a book called Muscle Sluts, which I don't know what that's supposed to be. It's like, I'm guessing an erotic novel, but who knows? And the FBI agent was reading there. It's just kind of funny. Then we cut to Jackie gets to Lou Sr. and then he knocks her out. And then we cut to like a flashback of Lou shooting a guy in the head, like to the praise of Lou Sr., which is again like this is like what you pointed out, which I didn't point out, but like maybe, you know, Lou Sr.'s sexual satisfaction with murder and guns. So, then we cut back. Lou Sr. is going to pin the murders on Jackie, even though she did murder those people. She is the guilty person in this whole thing. So
She's not really pinning her. She's just like, well, this is actually who did it. Meeting circumstances.
Lou threatens to pin all the murders in the canyon on him, which is a great it's also in the trailer, so it kind of ruins it. He's like, "Are you threatening me?" And like she just takes this moment, kind of breathes, and goes, "Yep." It's like it's so great.
Just takes a beat and like, yes. To be clear, this is what's going on.
Lou Sr. freaks out and he starts breaking all his terrariums and then just eats one of the bugs. It's like crazy. So we cut to Lou grabs a gun as she hears her door open. She ducks at the last moment when she sees Mike the cop trying to kill her in the reflection of the TV. She gets a shot at him, like just blindly firing over the couch and hits him. And then she takes the cop's gun and Daisy's body and throws it in the back of her. Well, yeah, what she got? She got like an F-250, like an 80s F-250 or something.
I think it's like a GMC, but it's like a heavy duty one.
Yeah.
Like one of the ones like the railroad had, because I don't know if it's a quad cab. It seems like it has a larger than standard.
Yeah, it's got a bigger cab, but I don't know if I can't remember if it had 4 doors or just one of those. Because every car like that back then, you just had to like fold the front seat and hop in the back. So
yeah.
Lou drives to Lou Sr.'s place, which is just like a big mansion or whatever. It's almost like it's almost like the Back to the Future mansion. It's not a tower, but it's like that kind of gaudy stuff going on. she sees Beth, who's mad at her because for JJ's death, and then but then like she like Beth starts hitting Lou, and then Lou like presses against her face to get info on Jackie, which this just seems extra cruel because it's like, you know, because like, you know, Lou's getting mad like, you know, he was going to beat you to death, and she's like, I loved him, and it's like, you're fucking stupid, and she's like pressing her face like, where's Jackie? It's like, thanks sis, and like leaves. It's like, well, this relationship is ruined, so but was it ever going to remain intact? So one of them was going to die or whatever, so
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's just like keeps going back to a guy that like beats them to where they look like they've been in a car accident is like, yeah, that's a real problem.
yeah.
So you're not going to overcome that with just some like, I love you.
Yeah, that's why I learned I got the term trauma bonding wrong.
Oh, okay.
Have you like, what do you think trauma bonding is? Like, what I thought it meant like two people were in a trauma and they kind of like have like kind of built a relationship over being in the same trauma. That's what I thought it was. That's not what it means.
What I thought it was.
Trauma bonding means basically when you commit trauma against a person and that person is closely bonded to you from the trauma you inflict on them.
Oh, that's weird.
Yep.
That's dark.
Yep.
It's like, what do they call that? Like Helsinki syndrome?
Yeah.
What, fall in love with your captors or something? Yeah. Huh. Okay. That's weird.
Yeah. People are weird.
Yeah. Someone hurt me and was in an advantageous position over me. It's like, oh, I'm going to light you on fire. You're going to sleep sometime. You'll be lit on fire.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Yeah, sometimes the retaliation comes eventually. So
I will throw myself at the mercy of the court. If anyone's going to believe that 6 foot tall, 300-pound guy could be taking advantage of someone to the point where I had to burn them.
Lou goes to untie Jackie, who fights Lou as she gets up, and then Jackie gets Lou's gun and is like firing it off around Lou. But like Lou's just trying to like, yeah, Lou wants to salvage this relationship because
she's still committed.
Yeah. Jackie breaks down and like she says she's a killer and doesn't know what's wrong with her, and then they declare their love for each other again and try to figure out the next move. But Lou tells her to like run off where her truck is. Lou goes after Lou Senior, which as she's going for him, like Lou gets shot and falls down, and then Lou Senior's like milking this moment they has to like kill his daughter, and it starts pressing on the wound on Lou's leg, and then we see like cut to the other side. Jackie starts hulking out. And then we cut back, and now she's like 20 feet tall, and she pins down Lou Senior. So it's like, is this happening? Then Lou puts a gun in Lou Senior's mouth, which maybe he likes. Now he gets to have sex with a gun. So, but it starts bleeding, so obviously it hurts now. So
yeah. I don't know if he likes this. I think he likes doing that to other people. I don't know if it's
Jackie and Lou, but then Lou decides like she's not going to kill her father, and they leave. And then this is where we have like Jackie and Lou are in like shiny clothes and are running in the clouds, which is like an amazing scene from the trailer because you're like, when does this happen?
The most surreal moment of the movie,
because you're like, wait, are now they both like 20 feet tall, or have they grown even larger that they now are like in the clouds? Like, what's going on here? But now they cut through, like they're back in the truck, they're like laughing, having a good time. They're regular size. So
yeah, they're in the truck, and the truck hasn't become gigantic.
Yeah.
It's also...
they drive into the sunset, and then we kind of cut back to a more reality, and Jackie's asleep in the passenger seat. Lou sees Daisy's body moving in the back of the truck, and then Lou stops the truck pulls the truck over, and she goes in the back to see like Daisy's still alive, and then like she just kind of like sighs, and then Lou chokes her to death, and then just like comically takes her body out into the field while it's like what's framed in the window where Jackie is sleeping. And then credits roll over this scene. It's like as she steals a cigarette from Daisy because she quit smoking. Like especially when Daisy was like trying to get one over on her, she decided she's quit smoking. Now so now there's like this whole thing where it's like she's like trying to prove to herself she's not a murderer. She's better than that. She didn't kill her father when he deserved to die, and now she just coldly murders this woman through by choking her and leaving her body in the field. So it's like for her girlfriend that's also a murderer. It's like, well, this didn't.
She had to tie up loose ends, and
Yeah.
her father's life was left destroyed, and it's not like Daisy was a redemptive character.
No.
So it's kind of like, well, this is the last.
It's like Daisy doesn't deserve to die, but she doesn't deserve to live either. So.
Or the metaphor at the end of the movie with Jackie becoming a giant is like, well, Jackie could easily overpower Lou Senior without being a giant.
Yeah.
So it's like that maybe really didn't happen. She just overpowered him.
Yeah.
It becomes this metaphor for like they're both free now.
Yeah.
And Lou is also free of like any constraint or morals. It's like, well, anyone who hurts me, I will now hurt them.
Yeah.
That's like the moral of the which would make sense with the tone and timbre of this movie.
Yeah, it's a
redemptive characters in this thing.
But that's what makes this movie like darkly interesting, where it's like, this is the happy ending for these characters.
Yeah, this is very much like a wonderful blend of like David Lynch and the Coen brothers. It's like, it's more surreal than a lot of Coen brothers stuff, but it's also it's like, especially the color palette and everything reminded me, it interestingly enough, with the tragedy that happened this week, of like David Lynch movies.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those reds and the bright colors and the dark colors and just like the magical realism of the movie. Which is like, but again, also this was very Coen brothers, very blood simple in a way too. Yeah. So you can see the it's not derivative though. It does its own thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, it's like the plot's pretty simple, but the characters are very rich. So
yeah, they found great actors to kind of tell a simple story, and then they just they had some wild, like, the best elements of science fiction and horror you could throw into a movie where people are not reacting as if science fiction and horror is going on. So you almost know it's like, well, this is really a metaphor on film, which is when it doesn't become David Lynch, because David Lynch just goes like full crazy. It's like, yeah, there's like little people running down Mulholland Drive screaming at you, and Inland Empire, we're all going to end in a dance scene. It's like, well, that didn't here, but so it's like, yeah, it's a kind of a perfect blend of the Coen brothers in that.
We also get like this credit sequence kind of fades out and then fades in. We get like more credits, but underneath is Jackie and Lou's silhouette dancing under the red light.
Yeah,
like, no idea what that means.
No.
Just like that's this is their happy ending. So
it's just like the end of Inland Empire when everyone's dancing to Sinner Man. It's like all the characters in the movie just get together and everyone's dancing. And it's like, okay, cool. Everyone's as happily ever after as they're gonna be.
Well, we're sending a probe into space containing the supercut of scenes from the imperfect collection that of the movies that is the Verhoeven Effect. Nathan, what one scene of this movie are we shoving into space?
I'm afraid we're gonna have to cop out again and go with the trailer, because it introduced you to this, and it's introduced me to this, and it's the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
I would recommend you watch this movie, but also watch the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I had to compare them, the trailer is better than the movie, but most trailers are. So
yeah,
it doesn't.
The trailer makes it seem a little more like, oh, this is going to be action orientated and engaging.
Yeah.
Whereas instead, it's more like a film noir with like elements of the bizarre blended in.
Yeah. It's a bit more stationary than what you expect out of the trailer. So
yes, yeah.
Which isn't bad, it's like this was a budgeted movie, so
yeah. This was an indie film.
Yeah,
it's a noir film set in the New Mexico desert.
And I am interested to see what Rose Glass does next. I'm not sure how successful this was, but I'm pretty sure it might.
Well, it's very well regarded in reviews, but it's also one of those movies you either get it or you don't.
Yeah. I think most of the movies we've done in this feature, it's like, yeah, you recommend. I even got a guy to watch Tenet because I was trying to explain it. It's like, that sounds weird, and he watched it and he liked it. I was like, you liked it? Like, wasn't that super confusing? He's like, yeah, but it was cool. I was like, all right.
Yeah, look good.
his wife was confused. He's like trying to explain. He's like, well, see, like one part of the movie's going forward and the other part of the movie's going backwards. So it's like,
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't even explain it, and we watched the movie and did research.
Yeah, that was our second time watching.
Yeah,
well, actually, you've seen it more than that too. So.
It's like 10 times. It's like, am I smart enough for this yet? Not yet.
But yeah, no, this movie would be a hard recommend for somebody because like there's all sorts of like problems they would have with it. But
kids, come here.
Yeah. But yeah, for like a neo-noir movie, is like awesome. Like I'd recommend this over Neon Dragon, which I don't think I'll ever watch. Not Neon Dragon. Was it Neon Dragon?
Neon Demon.
Neon Demon. Like I think that was a great movie. I'll never watch that movie again. It's like awful.
one and done.
It's like awful and beautiful at the same time. It's
Let me make a suggestion. If you're gonna watch this movie, have a trilogy. Watch Blood Simple.
All right.
Watch Blue Velvet.
All right.
Watch this.
All right.
See what you think.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's going to tell you if you like this kind of movie or not.
Yeah.
You'll never have to watch another one. If he's like, I hated all three of those movies, it was a waste of my life. Okay, fine. That's cool. Go watch the Avengers or whatever. But if you get something out of it, then go into French New Wave and take on a lot of. But these American UK collabs can be a good litmus test for like what kind of movie do you want to watch. And it doesn't mean you're a genius or whatever. It just means it's like, well, I don't like this kind of movie. Or I do, or I love this kind of movie. But yeah, those are the ones to start with.
I guess I should have picked up on that this was filmed in Mexico because I think one of the credits is Film New Mexico. It was all shot in New Mexico. So.
It's a Breaking Bad film credit. Or what do they call those? Studio credits, tax credits, whatever.
Yeah.
They give you for filming in places.
Yeah, whatever Atlanta does.
Yeah. You mean the land of the Walking Dead?
Hey, they're still making those shows.
Still banging them out. I guess the one in France is kind of cool.
Okay.
Someone told me I'd like that. It's like, well, yeah.
Is that still filmed in Atlanta?
Probably. I don't know. No idea.
You can find us at Letterboxd username VHE 1 out of 5 stars. What are we giving this movie, Nathan?
I'm going to give this movie 4.
Okay.
I'm not going to give it the full 5 because sometimes the plot, again, it was like, it's a beautiful mosaic, but not all the pieces are perfect.
Yeah.
And some things it's like, oh, I see what they're really reaching for here, but they just somehow the writing and the filming and the putting together of the scene didn't quite draw me in. I felt like I was doing a lot of like click back, rewind. And so that maybe for the way I viewed it, which I was like fully engaged in it. I wasn't like a tank or something. But it's like I felt like I missed something that I shouldn't have, considering I was giving it my full attention.
Yeah.
Could have just been me. But it was like, because there'd be elements of the surreal, elements of the bizarre. Like all the sex scenes in this are really surreal and bizarre because you're expecting something. And you're always kind of expecting something. About 50% of the time it pays off. But the rest of the time you feel like, did I miss something? It's like, no, that's just the way the story flowed. Wasn't exactly, it kind of detracted a little bit from me because I was expecting a more, if I'm going into it, like it's like, oh, I want this to be a whole experience. If I got to stop, rewind, that's kind of robbing it from me. But I'm also watching this to talk about it for 2 hours later. So I got to, like, well, I hope I don't want to miss something important. But yeah, so that's me.
Well, you can find our podcast at verhoeveneffect.com. There we have listener support. You can support us a monthly stipend of 99 cents, $4.99 or $9.99. Cancel anytime. You can rate our podcast on the platform of choice. You can rate us what we want, but the only thing the algorithm listens to is the highest rating. Remember, fight the AI. Give us the highest rating.
And feel free to fact check us at any point because we say the wrong things constantly.
Sure, we need engagement.
And I know that fact checking is like an important issue right now on some social media platforms because we're going to go with community notes. So send us a community note and tell us full of shit, please. Whatever it takes.
You can find us at Twitter at Verhoeven Effect. You can find us at Blue Sky Social at Verhoeven Effect. You can find us at Facebook, the same place.
Same place.
Verhoeven Effect. Yeah, I like that. Like, yeah, we're gonna employ more AI, and that's like you can already see how AI is ruining Facebook by all like the fake accounts with fake movies and all that stuff. It's like this is great. Just all fraudulent content generated for clicks. I'm sure that'll last forever.
Oh, it just makes me feel dumb. It's like I clicked on this, they fooled me.
Yep.
It's like, well, I'm a moron.
uh,
It's gonna make me go back to physical books. Keep
yeah.
it up. I'm just gonna start buying physical books and
Time to
reading them.
cancel all your streaming services and go back to the library.
I know this. Well, see, the good thing is, I and you too have read enough books. We know bullshit when we see it,
Yeah.
but it's the 10 seconds of my life that they're going to waste trying to fool me into watching this. That's what infuriates me.
Yeah.
But pretty soon the books will be AI generated too. Yeah. So it's just AI mediocrity.
Yeah.
This isn't Skynet. The future is not the Terminator endoskeletons lasering us to death. Really bad mediocrity.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bunch of middle school term papers written by people who did the Cliff Notes. That's what AI
You can find us on YouTube at American Greed Factory and watch both this and that show live and unedited. So for the Verhoeven Effect podcast, I'm Conlon.
And I'm Nathan.
Goodbye, America.